Hey everybody, welcome back to Big Brandon with Odd. We're having a super time. We're starting to get some big light bulbs, which is really nice. Last episode we made a couple of confirmed solves. Some of them felt really, really good. Now, in today's notes, so we're looking at Unholy Captive, maybe moving into the next chapter as well. But we'll see how long these other ones take. The first part here, chapter 1, in my notes I have, I could use like a process of elimination from the Famosans. And I forgot that I had made that note, but we had figured this out in the last one by doing just that, as he was present. He was actually shooting from the boat. He was the one that shot Nichols. So, I don't know who this is still. We know he was spiked by a terrible beast. We know which group he hangs out with. He's in this group of what I presume are seamen, only because we have Samuel Peters here, crushed by fallen cargo, which means this guy is confirmed Nathan Peters and having like the brother. So these guys are seamen. I presume these guys might all be seamen, but it's really still tough to say because there's a ton of them. So what we're going to do is we'll move on to the next chapter, the next part of this chapter, Thomas Sefton. Now I'm like pretty confident. I'm pretty confident that this guy is the cook. And there's a couple ways we can do that. So he perished in Unholy Captives Part 2. We're going to go look at the location here. We're actually right beside it. That's amazing. Is it this one? Gotta be. Right? Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Unholy Captives Part 2. I must have the cause of death wrong because this wasn't confirmed in our guess.
What's your foot in?
Hey there, what's this? Give him to me and I can fry us a solid meal, boys.
Careful now. Take it slow.
One tick, gentlemen. There's a pretty shell here. Let's have a look.
No, get back.
Okay, so I'm pretty confident. Like at the beginning, I thought this guy was actually the butcher. Like I thought the butcher was the cook. But now, how does he die here? Because what we have is he was spiked by a terrible beast. But upon closer inspection, this right here is not in him. I thought this was him getting spiked, and then this is blood coming from the beast. So he was basically bitch slapped into oblivion. He got tail snapped, or whatever you want to call it. Tail whipped maybe, by the beast is what it seems like. So the only thing I need to really do here is figure out what makes the most sense. So if we go to the beginning, burn, clawed, clubbed, maybe? It could be club. I wasn't any of these. Wasn't exploded. Wasn't killed with a sword or knifed. Wasn't poison shot, speared, spiked, strangled, struck. Could be... Ooh. Struck by hooves, tail, or wing. Maybe struck. Do I have clubbed? I could do clubbed by beast. Clubbed feels like... So when we saw those other things where people were clubbed, it was like a physical club. Which makes me think that this might be struck by tail. Maybe? I don't know how many we have outstanding for guesses, so we're going to have to probably just make our best guess here. Looks certainly like he was struck by the tail. Right? Has to be. And the blood's coming out. It's a ferocious tail whip. Absolutely. Anything else weird we got going on in here? This guy's running off. Still don't know who he is. I'd be running too. Don't worry, buddy. You're not alone. Who are these guys? Crushed by cannon. Unknown. Oh, there's so many people we still have no idea. Like, Getting stressed about it. But that's okay. We're going to take little by little, and then we'll just keep on trucking. Okay. So, I'm going to leave it at that for this death. Instead of struck by tail, or instead of spiked, which we know is wrong, because it never got confirmed in the previous ones, in the previous trios, I'm going to say struck dead by the beast tail. It definitely wasn't hooves or wings. I don't know have we even seen anything with hooves or wings? That is weird on its own. Okay, yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it at that, and he is bitch slapped. That's his death. So now this takes us to, in my notes, part 4. And I have a mention of John, I believe. I should have took better notes, probably. Keep pressure here. Hold him down. What madness is this? 20 years, my steward. Never a doubt on your sanity. Explain yourself. Those ungodly beasts carry a curse. All's fine, John. Been in worse spots, I think. Where's the rest of his leg? Okay. So let's go view this. This is in the very bottom, the bosun's store. So I'll leave this. And we'll go. Now, you might be wondering, if you didn't catch it in the last episode, why am I not going through each and every chapter? I did that on my own time, and then I just put some notes in for spots where like names were mentioned or a detail that I had missed or some type of lead that I could then follow, instead of just literally going through every single thing again, which I think would be a little bit intense for everyone involved. So part 4 to my left. Oh yeah, it's this one, isn't it?
Keep pressure here.
Hold him down. What madness is this? 20 years my steward had never a doubt on your sanity. Explain yourself. Those ungodly beasts carry a curse.
Oh, I'm having an aha.
Doom us all. Tie him up and put him in the lazarette with those things. He may yet find.
Oh, I'm having a big brain. I am having a big brain.
Been in worse spots, I think. Where's the rest of his leg?
Okay, I'm having a big brain here. Now, originally, especially when you look at the transcript, you're thinking, keep pressure here. And then you're like, hold him down. What is this? 20 years, my steward, never a doubt in your sanity. These are different voices. And these ones are further away. So, like, over here. So these are 2 conversations that are happening at the same time. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, doctor's bag. Definitely important. That means this guy... I don't know if we have him tagged. If we do, I'm going to feel like we're way ahead of the game. Surgeon. Excellent. Excellent. So that's good. We don't know how he dies, but we could take a look at that after this if we want. Where does he die? Do I have notes on this? Escape. I have a bunch of notes in escape, so we'll wait for that, I think. But now he's saying all's fine, John, which means this dude at the bottom. I think this dude, not you. Oh my God. Okay, this guy's spiked. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I had him there. I don't know who this is. He could be like the helper, just considering that he's with the doctor, because the surgeon has a helper, right? Surgeon's mate, James Wallace. I mean, I'll put him in there. I'm like very mediocrely confident on that. Like it's 25%, but there is some like gauze here or whatever. Now this guy I think is probably a John. And if there's a John, I know there's a couple. Yeah, John Davies. Wait, are there more than a couple? I think maybe those were the only 2. John Naples. Yeah, so this is probably John Naples then. And he's a seaman. It looks like he's probably fine. Torn apart by beast. Let's see. Perish in unholy captives, part 4. Yeah. I guess so. Keep pressure here. The gods carry... Beasts carry a curse. So, do we have the death... Do we have the torn apart by beast? Because he does say, like... Where's the rest of his leg? Right? Unless this guy... I guess it's depending on how we interpret... the voice. I'm going to play the voice part again. So we can hear it. I don't know if there's I wish there was a better way to do it, but it seems like you got to re-enter and then just do it one more time. I'll try to share my thoughts as it goes here. So this is the doctor talking first.
Keep pressure here.
He's telling his people what to do.
What madness is this?
Now this is behind them.
20 years my steward had never a doubt on your sanity. Explain yourself. Those ungodly beasts carry
This is the steward.
Throw them back or doom us all. Tie him up and put him in the lazaret.
And then this is the guy who's saying, my steward.
He may yet find his senses.
Come on. All's fine, John. Been in worse spots, I think. Where's the rest of his leg?
Yeah, so all's fine, John. Been in worse spots, I think. I'm sure he's talking to this guy. He wouldn't be talking to, like, his steward. Be like, all's fine. I don't think. And then where's the rest of his leg is a separate thing. Now, this guy maybe this guy is the... Maybe this guy is the surgeon's mate, James Wallace, potentially. It's possible that it's him. I don't have any other clues to go on other than the fact that he's actually holding the leg. This guy is just holding him down. He does say, like, hold him down, but these guys might not even be the surgeon's mate. Who knows? That's possible, too. I'm pretty sure he's saying this is John. Torn apart by beast. I mean, we can look at the other types of deaths, but he's missing a leg. But hold on, actually. You know, we might need to view... So this is part 4. What if we view part 3? What if we view part 3? This is an unknown soul. He's part of that group with Syed and friends here. So we could probably start making some guesstimates as to who this guy is. If we find... where's Syed? It's these two guys. Oh! Good guess. We had a 50-50. But that's actually huge, because that tells us what we're doing right and what we're not. So his is right, and then we can confirm the other guy's name, which is great. Nichols was shot by Chio Tan. Excellent process of elimination. And we got the cook. So that's right, too. Oh my god, that is so sick. Okay. Okay, don't get too excited. We got a big brain. We got to keep the big brains coming. Wow, and it's just like an unlimited amount of things here. Like, holy smokes. Okay, so before I forget, let me go to the sketch now, and we can confirm who this is. So that was William Wasim, which means this guy is the other guy from India. Zungi Sathi? Or this, no, yeah. He would have been Abraham Akbar. So this, we have, they're all seamen. This one's from India, but we also have somebody else from India as a ship's steward. And the steward thing is something we're going to look into right away here. So let's do this. Crushed by loose cannon. I mean, I think that's probably right. That's probably good. But we just don't have anything else to compare it to right now. We don't have a trio, I'm guessing. So what else happened here? So this is the guy that was getting carried away, right? And somebody was like, 20 years my steward. So it's somebody important. It's not the captain, I don't think. Does the captain have a steward? Steward is kind of like a, well, you know what? Let's actually confirm it. Let's confirm. Stewards are like helpers. Servant to an officer or higher rated crew member performing general duties for the comfort of their employer. Yeah. So, do we have... What kind of stewards? Ship's steward. Oh, captain steward as well. So maybe that's could be Philip Dahl by chance. What I'd like to do is confirm who was talking. Who's this guy? Oh, this dude shows up everywhere, doesn't he? I still don't know who he is. But he's relatively important. Okay, now he's holding the ropes. Hold on. I wish I could confirm the captain's voice here, but... So we're in Unholy Captives, part 4? Yeah. I think this is right. Actually, if this was right, we would not have gotten the confirmation on the 50-50 guess, right? Because we did that after we did this, which means this is not how he died. How did he die? We'll have to look through his other memories because it's very likely he was getting worked on here. Man, I don't know, but this is where he died. We'll have to see. Maybe, okay, I'm going to say he was knifed because there is that sword there. Or killed by sword. Man, I don't know. That's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. And we also had, like, the first mate is there. Captain's there. Third mate is there. Where's his death? We don't have a death for him. Very interesting, Martin Perot. Very interesting. Surgeon. We could start looking at his death. Let me review this transcript one more time. Hold him down. What madness is this? 20 years, my steward, never a doubt in your sanity. Explain yourself. The steward says, those ungodly beasts carry a curse. Throw them back or doom us all. And then I presume this person, who I think might be the captain, is saying, tie him up and put him in the lazarette with those things. He may yet find his senses. And then someone says, come on. And then he says, era dara, which is, I don't know what language that is. You fools. If I Google era darar, will it tell me like a language? Because that would be helpful. Swedish. Oh, Swedish. As soon as I type in Eridarar, it says convert Swedish to English. So wait a second. Okay. I don't know how he died, but I assume this was, it looks pretty right. But then there's the sword. So maybe somebody cut his leg off. Oh, maybe this guy. Oh, maybe that guy did it. Okay, let me try this. I'm going to say you were not torn apart by beasts. I'll say that you were killed with a sword by Captain Steward Sweden. Gotta be. That's my best guess. And then you would be the Captain Steward. Captain Steward. Now, how did you perish? Don't know. Now, this is trippy. We're seeing multiple people where we don't have, like, a death. He's in 3 memories, though. What was happening here? This guy got crushed by fallen cargo, But I would like to see what happened. Maybe we can get information about what happened right before this. Killed with sword by Philip Dahl, the captain's steward. Okay, let's look at the other people in here. So captain. Mr. Top Hat, don't know, but you're obviously important, right? Like these guys, and he looks like he was in front of the lazarette, which would be like the prison, right? He could be Alfred Klestel, purser, helmsman. Now these top men, these are guys that work up top. So that's not them. He would definitely be in this group somewhere. Could be the bosun, Alfred Klestel, Austria. Olis Vieter, gunner's mate, Poland. Purser and helmsman. Let me just double check these roles. So purser, I think, is like the accountant. Yeah, administration. Cargo value and trade transactions. Manages a small item store for crew. And then we have helmsman. Rated seaman in control of the ship's wheel and general moment-to-moment navigation. So who would... Military officer in charge of weapons and military procedures, which could make you think that he would be in charge of the lazarette, which I think is like that prison behind them. But our gunner was Wolf. Foreman in charge of general crew operations, the equipment required. Yeah, so it could be any of these, but I think we have gunner. Right? Actually, yeah, gunner. Christian Wolf. And we confirmed that. We know 100% that that's Christian Wolf. Do we have any accents that we can hear in this? Let's see if we have any accents. We know the Sweden one because that was the language was weird.
Keep pressure here.
Hold him down. What madness is this? 20 years my steward had never a doubt on your sanity. Explain yourself.
Those ungodly beasts carry a curse! Throw them back or doom us all!
Tie him up and put him in the lazarette with those things. He may yet find his senses.
Come on. All's fine, John. Been in worse spots, I think.
Now, okay, this brings me to another question. Now, where is the rest of his leg? Yeah, where is the rest of his leg? And then we got this guy, who's the first mate. Is it possible that he doesn't look like he's talking? He looks like he's chilling there. And I think it's him talking to him, saying 20 years, my mate. I think so. I think so. But did he do this actual death? Don't know. So let's go to the previous part. Let's go to part 3 and see if we can see anything like... See if we can find the... Oh, let's just check here, actually. John Naples. The artist. Huh. No, he's not going to be there. He's not going to be there. What about after? Oh, that's the end of it. Okay, well, I'm going to leave that as a guess. Ah, man, I don't know if that's enough to say that. Because where would his... If he was killed with this sword right now, his leg would be here. Right? But the other thing is, he didn't die there, it looks like. Unless he's not John. But he has to be John. The other John. Where's the other John? John Davies isn't there. Where is he? No, John Davies isn't here. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe he wasn't killed by this steward. Maybe he was torn apart by Beast. But we don't know that. We can't even confirm that. Okay, here we're going to show memories on the deck map for this guy. This is where he dies. He comes from here though. Oh, this could be helpful. So he is there in part 3. So he's at this scene where the guy gets struck from up here. These guys come on board and start doing crazy things, right? And then let's see what he's doing here. So let's go to the Orlop deck, middle section. And we're looking for John. Orlop is 1 up. So even though we're going to be seeing the death of someone else, we're looking to find where John is. This is Unholy Captives Part 3. Okay, so this guy, William Westine, crushed by cargo, which we know. Now, where's John? This guy we don't know yet. You know he was spiked. There's John. So he's starting to fall here. He's starting to fall. This guy is crushed. What happens to this guy's leg? That is so weird. Between here and getting down the stairs, he is then missing a leg. And I couldn't tell you. Oh, who's this? This is a carpenter. Oh, damn. Carpenter. Or carpenter's mate. And if this guy's opening the door, you look at him, he's also, I think, a carpenter. Let's say carpenter's mate. Marcus Gibbs and Winston Smith. Let me try switching these names. Baby! Oh! Okay. That's so big. So, okay, Winston Smith, good. Marcus Gibbs, so the Carpenters. We'd never looked in that room before. And this guy, okay. Which means that I do not have John... I don't have John the Siemens thing correct. 100%. We don't have that correct now. Interesting. Okay, so this was in Unholy Captive, Part 4. Torn apart by terrible beast. Damn. The only other thing I can see is killed by sword. And if I say that this is the ship's, or sorry, the captain's steward, that would be my best guess. What I could do is confirm the captain's voice real quick if we wanted to. So even though I was looking for that guy's death, he's up there. This doesn't really tell us. It looks like he's about to fall. Who's that? Pete Milroy exploded. That's confirmed. Who's this guy? Unknown. He's right by Henry Evans, the surgeon. You know, I'm going to just throw this in here as a James Wallace, potentially. I could be wrong. But he looks like relatively dressed up compared to the rest. And he's got like a similar tie to him. This here, his hand on the wheel, I bet you this is the helmsman. I bet you he's the helmsman. How did he die? Disappeared in the Doom. Okay. Well, we have a bunch of things in the Doom there, so we'll see if we can figure that out. Anything else here? I think we're good. I think we're good for now. I'm just not sure about how the guy died. This is the butcher. Yeah. And this, who are you? Oh yeah, you're the artist. Okay, sweet. So now what we can do is we can move on into Soldiers of the Sea, Part 7. That's my next where I have like a lead when I took all my notes. So what is my note here? Cause of death. I didn't mark anything here, but we should be able to see it. So let's go look. This is the one in that side area. For some reason, I didn't mark down a cause of death. That's all I'm going to do when I go there. But let's go down into the Orlop deck, which is where we are. We have to go behind the wall. I think we have to go all the way around the back here. And we'll view this. Yeah. Let's listen here. So story-wise, damn. Story-wise, it seems as if these things are making their way to the lazarette, which is where it sounds like they held like those mermaids captive after they secured the boat that was coming back. Now he's getting blasted this way. I'm guessing this is a spike shot by this thing through the wall. Mind you though. Well, yeah, he's got a big explosion of blood heading this way, but there is a bunch of more blood here as well. And unfortunately, like I can view this death, but I can only leave here. So I kind of have to make a guess, but it looks like he would probably be spiked through the wall. See how that little arachnid leg is pointing this way? Or stabbed. But I don't see his... I can't make out for certain. Ooh. Hey, who are these guys over here? This guy is getting a sword, maybe? Okay, before we leave here, we got more work to do. Justice at Sea. Yep, yeah. Now, these guys are all dressed the same. Oh, I bet you these are all the stewards. So Paul Moss, he's the one with the leg, right? First, no. First mate steward, Paul Moss. I think we have that right. And maybe this is what all the stewards wear. Don't know which steward he would be. People are saying they make for the lazarette, secure the hold. Someone's shoot the damn thing. And I think this guy is... He's not knifed. Stabbed isn't a thing. Could be spiked by Terrible Beast. Or he could be speared by Beast. I'm going to go with spiked. And leave it at that. And then what I want to do is... I didn't see these guys in here before. So this guy, we still don't totally know. Shot with a gun by unknown attacker. In Escape Part 4, which I have notes. I have notes on this, so we'll get there. And then this fella in the top hat. That's Christian Wolf, the gunner. Okay. He was decapitated by an unknown attacker, and he's in the Doom Part 4, so I have notes there as well, which we'll get to his death scene. Huh. So, I don't know. I can't really identify who this is, but I'm thinking that this is all stewards here, because they're all dressed exactly the same. It's just a matter of figuring out who's who. Now, that being said, where is the captain's steward? When we identified them? Captain's steward. Philip Dahl. I wish you could click in through here. Oh, you can actually. My bad. Oh yeah, he's up top. But he is wearing similar clothing. The lines look similar to what the others are wearing. And it would make sense that he maybe has a little bit more freedom. This guy could be a steward as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potential stewards. This guy... Oh, yeah. Philip Dahl, Captain Steward. Spiked by a Terrible Beast. Okay. So... Soldiers of the Sea Part 4. So I'm just trying to get my things wrapped up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, yeah. Okay. So if this here... If this is the captain's steward, spiked by Terrible Beast, then this guy could possibly be the ship's steward. Zungi Sathi, but he doesn't look like he's from India, does he? Huh. But then again, like... Neither of the potential stewards do. I mean, maybe even this guy. Soldiers of the Sea Part 4. I might want to see this. Because this is not confirmed either. And maybe it's not a spike, but maybe it's a spear. We'd have to revisit this one. Let me write this down because I want to make sure I revisit Soldiers of the Sea Part 4. And we did visit Soldiers of the Sea Part 7. I'm just going to make a note to look up the cause of death here and take a closer look at this. There are 2, but I think that's probably a spear more than anything else. And I'm going to say this was a spike, but it's kind of a guess. But what we, I guess, can do... Man, it's a tough call. If I want to make this assumption... Like, I'm not sure... I'm not sure. Hold on. Let's look at his memories here. He's at the bitter cold as well. Unholy captives. That's where he dies. Okay, tell you what. I'm going to take a break here. I'm going to collect my thoughts and come back with a little bit of direction. We ended up at Soldiers of the Sea Part 7. Or sorry, Soldiers of the Sea. Oh, my bad. I'm in the wrong thing. Unholy Captives, Soldiers of the Sea. Part 7. Spiked, but that's all I can really figure out. But I think these guys are the stewards, if I had to make that guess correctly. And I'm making that guess because of this guy, John. Or Paul. Is it Paul? Yeah, Paul. Who died in Escape Part 2. And I think maybe it has a name here. Yeah, Paul Lookout. So that would make sense. Unless there's multiple Pauls. Which I can check for. Paul, first mate steward. Knifed by unknown. But I actually think we can figure out who that is now. Yeah, so that has to be him. I'm pretty sure, unless they were talking to somebody else that didn't get stabbed. But anyways, when I come back, I'll have some more directives for where we can go, and we'll try to sort things out. Thank you so much. Bye.